Today I'm looking for winter steelhead. The only hard part about today is that we're in a cold spell and the water is really low and clear, which makes finding steelhead hard and catching them even that more difficult. And that's okay because last week I caught a really big steelhead and my confidence in catching these fish is at an all-time high. Today is a unique day because it is a day after the Super Bowl in which everybody's at home and nobody's gonna want to fish, or at least that's what I thought. I can tell nobody's been in here because the snow doesn't have any footprints in it. And that's probably because nobody is dumb enough to come fish this river in these conditions. Really like this spot. We're gonna use a fly rod because my goal is to catch one on a fly rod before the end of the season. And test this rod. I really want to test this rod out and see how this one's working because I built this rod specifically like only for steelhead fishing. It's a 9-foot 10 weight. The water has also been frigidly cold and low and clear, which is not ideal for finding steelhead. This spot looks really good too because the water's moving and the water's really low and clear. They stay out of the water that's not moving very fast. So my thought anyways was to come out here and I'd be all alone and catch a bunch of fish and have an awesome day. So let's see if that happens. Well, nothing in my favorite hole. We're gonna try a couple more casts up here in some shallow water. I see some footprints going up here. I've never fished up here, but I see footprints, which means that people obviously fish up above here. So we're gonna check it out. See these tracks? These are not mine. So I think I found one of the best fishing holes on the river by accident. Right above where all this like S curves are with like a lot of white water. And there's a dude fishing in there. Which is good to know I'm not the only one out today, but kind of a bummer to see somebody else in there. But man, does that look like just such a nice hole. He's on the other side of the river and I don't know how he got over there. He must have crossed. Maybe these foot tracks are his. So it'd be absolutely insane if I pull one out of this spot here. I've never seen this before. I actually only discovered this because there's snow prints and I saw foot tracks of other people coming up here. But check out this hole. Never fished here before, but you just have this like little hole kind of coming down through here. And it's actually pretty deep in there. Kind of deep, it's up a little bit there. But right in that white water. I don't know, I'm gonna try that. Hopefully I don't get hung up. Let's try the fly rod first. All right, well that would have been a cool spot, but nothing doing there. I'm gonna try something I normally don't do, and that's just do some like jungle hiking. So I'm just gonna be hiking all the way up the river and hopefully I can find a new spot to fish. It looks like there's a really big rapid over there, maybe another hole. And I'm thinking this isn't the hole that those guys pulled in and fished, although it looks pretty good. It's actually a tiny little pocket hole, but I think they actually went around and fished the hole above it. So I have the river all to myself, so we're gonna try it out. These aren't my tracks, but they are leading me to a spot that other people fish, and if other people fish it, they probably know more about fishing than I do. Dang, now I know why these guys walked all the way up here. This spot looks absolutely incredible. You have like a little bit slower pace here, a nice kind of deep bucket there where you can't see the surface, which is where I'm gonna fish. You have all of this here going like really nice and slow, and then you have a really nice bucket right there. So this water looks perfect. That far bank over there looks really good. Right underneath where those rocks are gives a little bit of cover. Fish can like duck underneath there if they want to. There might be a reason that nobody's fishing today. It's the day after the Super Bowl. I think everybody's just trying to stay warm. It's like 26 degrees outside, super cold. You can see behind me like the river is really low and clear. There's like snow all over on the side here. And the only reason I found this spot is because I saw footprints walking all the way up here. So I followed those all the way till I could get up river and found a really nice hole in here. I'm sure when the water peaks up, this is gonna be a super nice hole. So it's always nice to find other spots, even though if like they're not fishing good now, because this water gets so pounded with fishermen that everybody just goes in the spots that they normally catch fish in. So if I can find other spots, like alternative like B and C spots, then that's just more places for me to fish. Like if somebody's in my main hole, I can just come up here and not crowd anybody, not make anybody mad. So always trying to look at the brighter side of things. So I'm gonna fish this out a little bit and then go to my go-to spot over here. About a mile back, I've got a really good spot too that I want to go check out. Always worth putting a couple of drifts through at least, so we'll go check that out. All right, so I'm on my second spot of the day. This water just looks so beautiful because it's like you can see the bottom. And I want to fish it out before the sun gets really high up because I think those fish are going to be a little bit more spooky. Right in front of me. And then up there kind of comes in, and I've caught them literally right here. That's probably the prime spot. We'll try it, man. Just look at this water. Oh, it's just picture perfect. It's beautiful. We'll shoot nothing on the deep end of the pool. Historically, I've been able to do really good here. So let's go up, and some of the water is a little bit more accessible. One of the downsides of wearing these wool gloves is that they're so woolly because they're handmade in Ireland. They get everywhere, so they get all over my stuff. My hooks get caught on them. Man, that's just moving really nice and slow, super slow. That is a little bit nicer, a little bit deeper in there. See what I mean? This kind of gets like caught up in here and just get a couple casts on that far side over there. So this pool is just kind of, I just put a cast on the other side so the pool kind of comes in, and I'm fishing the opposite side. And right about there, it looks like there's like a little pocket or a little hole. Man, look at that, like just slow current coming in there. I'd love to fish the head of the riffle, like way up there. These steep canyon walls, just wild. Don't see any fish in here, but it's fishing me. Caught the bottom because this hole looks super good because it just plunks right down in there. There's like a little secret hole right there that you never know would hold fish. But look what it did to my lure. I'm so lucky I got that back. A little bit of the pliers. I'll pinch that back and I'll be good to go. This fish spinners much, but I have the nightmare jig, this jig. I lost a couple of those. And I have a number 4 and a number 5. So let's try the 4. I hope this place is worth coming into because it's an absolute mess to get in here. Dang, this looks good. There's 2 holes. There's this hole, and then there's one right above it. So I had to bushwhack to get to this spot. And oh, that looks good because I can see, it's so clear. I can see on the bottom, I can see that worm on the bottom. Just perfect depth. Absolutely amazing. It's hard to see without polarized glasses, but it's maybe 15, 18 feet deep down in there. Throwing that out there and just letting that just like slowly go to the bottom. It's moving so slowly, it's really hard not to get any drag. Okay, give it a little, oh. Oh, that would have been, there's only one thing that could be, and that's eggs. People are using eggs for steelhead. That's fairly fresh, probably from this weekend. Well, those are my favorite spots on the river to fish. I got no fish out of there, but that's okay. I'm just gonna head lower in the river, see what I can drum up there. Put a few casts in there. I think I'm gonna fish a lot quicker too. I don't think I'm gonna. So a super sweet little pocket. Just discovered this place just now. Never found out about this place till today. Been fishing there 20 years. Never known this hole existed. But just walked up. This is the higher of the 2 holes. There's one below me, and then there's a really good one below me there. I'm just gonna take a couple casts here, see what happens. All right, well this spot kind of swirls around, really deep pool right here. And I'm hoping that what I can do is get one that's kind of sitting right in that soft water, right before the white water, before it heads upriver and goes swims up. It's kind of stuck in that pool. That's what I'm hoping anyways. I'll fish that spot out. There's absolutely nothing but casting practice. Well, this is some excellent water, but unfortunately there are no fish here, or they're just so deep in the slow water it's really difficult to get to them. I'm just keep trying to go from spot to spot and fish it. I was re-rigging my stuff and I was kind of looking at this. It's all like fully stocked. It just looks like a jewelry store with all this stuff kind of dangling off of it here. Some old hooks. And then these I thought was a really good idea to put those on there. But it kind of backfired because they kind of bedangle off and kind of get in the way. So they just kind of hang like that, you know, and then you get tangled. It's just really unideal. I thought I was being so smart by like making it as efficient as possible. I think your earrings on there.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are go for TLI, over. Apollo 11, thank you. Roger up.
I think I'm gonna head home. There's one hole I want to fish on the way back, and that's way upriver. It's funny because I find these spots that are just so excellent, like so perfect, so off the beaten path, and then there's no fish in them. At least now there's no fish in them, but I think I come back here in about a month. The prime of the run, like the peak of the winter steelhead run, should be on fire. The spot should be good. Kind of an interesting day. No fish. I have one more spot to fish on my way back and give that a shot, and if nothing, then I go home empty-handed, which happens. It's just kind of an average day of steelhead fishing. You don't know if you're gonna catch one or two, or a lot of times you don't catch anything. So a little bit more trekking in the woods and the snow, and then I'm looking forward to like a full meal, a warm meal, and a fireplace. Kind of tired of being wet and cold. Wasn't really expecting much, to be honest. Oh my gosh. So this is like the most random thing. I was like walking up. I looked at my arm. Look what's on my arm. That is so weird. A blue fox number 4. That has got to be a good sign. These guys are expensive. That is the most random thing ever. That's not mine. I don't do that yellow color. But somebody lost theirs. They must have lost it on a tree or something. And I just walked by it. That was extremely random. They're just kind of hanging off there. Cool. I need these. These are expensive. Just get the rod on there. We're gonna go way upriver. Fish one more spot and then we're going home. Not very optimistic that I'll catch anything today, even if I fish my heart out, which I've been fishing. Number 4, that's always my favorite size too. I was very lucky. I'm gonna put that in use that later. One more spot. Man, I'm hungry. Got thin mints. These are really good. It's hot honeys, like super good. Holy cow. This is an interesting spot for sure. I gotta be careful with my feet that I don't fall in. That is a 15-foot drop down into the water. You have like all this really fast water and there's this entire big deep bucket. I'm sure the fish are just down in there in that pool. It's actually a really cool spot. I'm gonna mark this one on my map. I'm sure this has been fished today a million times. And if you can imagine, I did fish there for a few minutes, didn't really catch anything, and that was the day. You know, this is real steelhead fishing. This was my experience. More times than not, I'm going out and I'm not catching anything. But that's okay because this place is beautiful. I love fishing it, and I will be back.